Hi, welcome to Psyched with Rena. Today's episode is going to be talking about election stress. We have a big election coming out, perhaps one of the most divisive in history, and we are seeing elevated levels of stress on all populations. Currently, according to the Harris poll, 68% of Americans have extreme stress about the upcoming elections. That is actually across party lines, Democrat, Republican, and Independent. Compared to the 2016 elections, there are a few population groups that are showing a bigger gap in the amount of stress they're having this season. For Black adults, we jumped from 46% of the population having extreme stress due to the election up to 71%. For those with chronic illness, even more so, we're jumping from 45% to 78% of adults with chronic conditions having significant stress due to the upcoming election. So we're going to talk about ways to work with that stress during this election season. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Rena Chinn. I'm a psychotherapist in the Seattle area, and I predominantly work with people of color, or as Resma Mencken would call them, bodies of culture. So let's talk about ways we can deal with the stress we are having with the upcoming election. These suggestions are actually put out by the American Psychological Association in response to the increased stress that we are seeing in this season and in this world. The first step in managing our election anxiety is to realize that we are in a pandemic. We are having significant economic changes and climate changes happening around us, and that uncertainty naturally yields more stress. We will be more stressed when there's more uncertainty in our lives. What we need to do to help alleviate that, first of all, is to catch ourselves from ruminating about this. Often we will catastrophize and think of worst case scenarios. So let's try to catch ourselves in the midst of all this uncertainty to try to put to rest the temptation to ruminate. To help prevent us from ruminating, we want to consider the things that we can control. If watching the debates gives you a lot of stress, maybe you want to pause watching the debates or town hall and wait until you can read the recap. If scrolling through your social media gives you anxiety, then perhaps you want to pause that. We don't want to get into arguments with people in forums that won't actually make any decisions. So let's think about how you can modify your consumption of news to help soothe your anxiety. While you're focusing on the things you can change, think about what you could do to make a positive impact. Are there ways you want to be involved in phoning or emailing people, encouraging them to vote? Do you want to plan your own plan to sit down and go through the voter's pamphlet and consider issues for yourself? By making active plans, you can feel engaged in the decisions you're making and more empowered. As I've mentioned in my video about regulating anxiety, which you can see here, I would recommend that you would stay connected with other people. Find one or two other people that you can use for emotional support. Likewise, exercise helps us in regulating our anxiety. These are general go-to tools in any source of stress. Also recognize that on election day, we may not know the outcome of the state or federal elections. So plan to have that day be a day where you can focus and be busy with other things, where you will not be hovering by the TV or online for the results, but that you can try to find peace throughout your day. So in summary, as the election draws near, let's stop ourselves from ruminating and catastrophizing and simply focus on where we can take action, how we can vote, how we can engage other people. And let's use our resources in terms of the community around us and the health of our body to exercise and move to help regulate us during this time. We're all hoping for the best. If you found this at all helpful, consider subscribing to Psyched with Rena. Ring the bell and press subscribe, and you'll be notified of future episodes. Okay, well, best to you, hoping for the best. Bye-bye.